Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for being here today. Today is going to be kind of like a swap between my normal Saturday and Sunday. Why is that? Well, because today is National Tell a Joke Day. And you guys know me. So I couldn't pass up the opportunity. We're going to still talk about coins and stuff like that, but I wanted to make sure that we had a little bit of fun and get out there and tell some jokes. For those of you who haven't been tracking, the last couple of weeks have been very interesting for me. We've had a lot of family issues and stuff go on, and so I wanted to do something to have some fun and bring you guys in. Chappie, member for 22 months. Thank you so much for being a supportive member. I definitely appreciate you. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much and being here and supporting the channel like you do. So again, it's one of those things where we're just looking at, you know, having fun and talking about things. And we can talk about coins. We can talk about the other stuff. But again, there's going to be a lot of jokes weaved into this today, just because I want to have a little bit of fun and do something a little bit different. And to be honest, I mean, who can pass up on National Tell a Joke Day? So I'm going to get started with one that I think is really, really fun. Siren, thank you so much for being in both streams. I do appreciate it. Why do melons have big weddings? Because they can't elope.
Nice.
Nice, Mike. There's been a number of people who have been putting them in. Please continue to drop jokes like that. I do have some jokes. I will be reading them as we kind of go through. But today is just kind of fun. It's just going to be random stuff. But if you do have coin questions, type in the word question, all capital letters, and then put it down, and we'll go ahead and address that. Now, tomorrow we're going to have Jack Young, Mike Nodelman, Eric, myself, and anybody else that wants to be up. We're going to be talking about Jack Young's IGC counterfeit coin submission. And so let's make sure that we are here tomorrow. It's going to be a great episode. I've looked over his presentation. Really cool stuff. So you're definitely going to want to be here. IGC is a coin grading company that will actually slab a counterfeit with a yellow holder, indicating that it is not real, it is not authentic, it is a counterfeit. Really cool stuff. Big Flip Coins, what's going on? He says, I wondered why the baseball was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it hit me. I love that joke. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Metro Minister, how you doing? Good to see you. Yes, there's going to be a lot of dad jokes today, but again, lots of fun. Chappie says, I once knew a man with a wooden leg named Smith. I don't know what the name of his other leg was. Yeah, so that's a pretty good question, Eric. By the way, hi. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. Doing wonderful. A beautiful day here in Southwest Florida.
Mike's like, I love that one, Crappy Chappie. Yeah, so again, when you tell jokes, you know, I don't mind whatever joke you tell. I am going to put two rules down. Okay. No hardcore racial jokes. Let's not go there. Let's not do that. And keep the swearing to a minimum. I will let you guys be your own stewards if something really bad gets put in there. I'm going to ask you to remove it. I'm not going to remove it because you may have other stuff in there that's good. But if it is borderline, I'll ask you to remove it. If you don't want to remove it, then I will remove it for you. But I'm pretty much open here, so you guys can do whatever. Just remember, because we are on a morning stream and not late at night, it is family friendly. Okay, so I just ask that you respect that. All right. Why don't zombies eat kids dressed as ghosts? Eric, I don't know. Maybe because they taste funny? Oh, they taste like sheet.
Nice.
I like that. Oh, so for those of you who live in and around the Dallas, Houston area, there is a coin show going on right now. It's the Tyler Coin Show. We have Mad Stacker, Everyday Copportunity, Ida Herring. There's actually some other people that are there. that are participating in that one. If you live in and around the area, again, it goes on through today. They're doing some giveaways, and they got some really fun stuff out there today. So again, if you're in and around that area, go check that out. What's going on, T-Bird? How you doing? Matter of fact, why don't I do this? Why don't I go ahead and just go through all the participants and say hi. So again, Metro Minister, good to see you. How you doing? Siren, thank you so much for modding. Always here, great supportive. I definitely appreciate you. Keyboard Stacking, thank you so much for being a member. AZ Coins, EMR, Eric, Jackalope, Herdmaster, what's going on, bud? Thank you so much for the channel support. All you do. Copper Al Coins is in the house. What's going on? Hey, put an update of your son. Let me know how he's doing in the Navy. Mike Nodelman is here. Good day, Mike. Neil Hahn, how you doing? Neil dropped probably 20 jokes this morning. Early. See Happy Chappies here. Good to see you. Nasty Seth. What's up, Seth? How you doing, bud? Good to see you here. Appreciate you guys coming in, saying howdy, jumping in. Rockzilla just popped in. How you doing, Rockzilla? Good to see you. I hope everybody is doing well. All right, so I have a question. Have you ever heard the one about the storks, Eric?
I haven't.
So 2 storks were sitting in their nest, and the father stork and a baby stork were sitting there, and the baby stork was crying a little bit. And Papa Stork says, hey, son, don't worry about it. Mom will be home in just a minute. She's taking people babies to bring them joy and happiness. And it's like, okay. The next night, the father's turn to do the job, and mom was sitting there, and the son was crying because he's, where's dad? Where's dad? He's like, son, you're going to be okay. Dad will be back in a little bit. He's bringing new joy to mommies and daddies. And so a couple of days goes by, and the stork's parents, all of a sudden, they're freaking out. Their son's gone. They can't find him anywhere. And early that next morning, he comes in and like, where in the hell have you been? And he's like, nowhere, just scaring the hell out of college students. Come on, you guys, you had to like that. I love that joke. It always makes me laugh. That's one of my favorite stork jokes. Copper Al says he just finished ATT school. Outstanding. Top of his class. On hold for A school. Outstanding. C school is fun. A school is even better. Good to do that.
Go to A school at?
Say again?
Says, where's he going to A school at?
That I don't know. How many months have 28 days? All of them.
That's right.
I know that one. I like the riddles. Oh, Great Lakes.
Great Lakes. Oh, all right.
Oh, so here's the thing about Great Lakes. He's close to Harlan J. Burke. So if he's into coin collecting, make sure he stops by Harlan J. Burke and tells him that Frosty and Copper Al Coins sent him to say hi to everybody. So he can go say hi to Mike and some of the folks that are there. So very cool. I didn't know when I went to Great Lakes for school that I wasn't tracking coins at that time in my life, so I wasn't able to track that. But yeah, tons of fun. I love that stork joke. That stork joke makes me laugh. It's one of those that's funny. Let's see. Neil Hahn told me of both a bunch of them. If 2 vegans get in an argument, is it still called a beef?
Right.
Okay, here's another one. What country has its capital growing the fastest? Ireland. It's Dublin.
Right.
Oh, this is so bad. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out with us today. And again, because it's National Tell a Joke Day, we wanted to do something that was just a little bit fun. Again, if you have any coin questions, please feel free to do so. But today it's about having fun and kind of regenerating. For many of us, it's been a couple tough weeks, lots of things going on. And again, it's just one of those to be able to come along, have a little bit of fun, do something a little bit different, maybe learn a joke or two to tell your kids or your friends or something like that. EMR, what does a nosy pepper do? It gets jalapeno business. That's why peppers make bad friends, because they get jalapeno business. I like that joke. Washington State Jags fan. It encouraged me to take a day off. Oh, well, I'm glad you get a day off. LAD, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate you guys coming in. So what's new on your guys' agenda? Eric, what's going on over at Copper Coins?
I've just been working on the website lately. Matter of fact, I'm kind of working on it haphazardly right now.
All right.
Besides that, nothing. Been got to do reveals, but I've been overwhelmed with dealing with contractors.
Yeah, you were saying that, and contracting from my world means a totally different thing, but dealing with contractors, especially has anything to do with your home, can be a nightmare.
And it's about money. They're like, we can't show if you don't pay the money. It's like, well, I paid the money. Oh,
Yeah.
well, this person didn't. It turns out there's two people doing the accounting, two separate companies that are in the same company. That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's just horrible. Okay, LAD, I'll bite. Knock, knock. Mike, I just saw your thing. I'll get to that one here in just a second. I need to find out why the dad joke isn't working on that.
Blame it on the computer crash. You've got at least 3 more weeks to blame stuff on that.
Well, no, yeah, that's a Nightbot thing, so it shouldn't. The dad, it's not populating. I'll have to go look at that and see if it's there. No, it is not. Whatnot. This is so you're looking at this is on YouTube. We don't sell anything here. We talk about coins. We give opportunities to ask questions. We talk about varying topics. Today, United Truth. Thanks for coming in, by the way. I appreciate you being here. Today is just a little bit of fun. It's National Tell a Joke Day, and wanted to take some time and just do something a little bit different, have some fun. AZ Coins, I just got your message, an email, responded back to it. I'll be sending out your package today. And you should be getting it here in about 3 or 4 days. I've got to go get Bifrost later on today. We're going to go take care of a couple things, and then I'll be dropping that off. So your package should go out today. All of the other poker chips and stuff, if you've messaged me, have gone out. I'm still waiting on a few people to get back with me. So if you have something that's supposed to go out, make sure you email me, and I will respond. So let's get back to Mike Noodle's joke. 2 cannibals were eating a clown. One looks at the other and says, "Does this taste funny to you?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that one. How do you catch a squirrel? Climb up a tree and act like a nut. That one can go sideways. You got to be careful with that one. Yeah, Ms. Coinker, I used to live in Utah, Colorado area, and I didn't have problems living there until I came to Texas. When I came to Texas and went back, it's when I went back that I had a problem. When I was there, I was doing well. What's up, Big Apple? Good to see you, buddy. Fugazi, forget about it. Hey, there's another one about it. But that one's a little bit inappropriate. I'll have to ask about that one. Why did the bicycle fall over? Well, because it was too tired. You say, who's there? Okay. You say, knock, knock. Okay, who's there? The lady's like, come on, get with it. All right, United Truth, have a good one. If you have any questions about coins, please feel free to come back. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about a counterfeit coin submission by Jack Young. If you don't know that name, he is big in looking at and identifying and reporting things on counterfeit coins. It's going to be a great episode, lots of good information. And so he's going to be basically going over that. We're going to have special guest Mr. Mike Nottleman there, who's also going to be talking with us about counterfeits and asking questions. So tomorrow's episode will be a really, really good one. So United Truth. Today may not be your cup of tea, but make sure you come back tomorrow. I think you'll enjoy some of the stuff that we get out tomorrow. All right. Vote for Pedro's here. What's up, Vote for Pedro? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Why did the employees go to work on stilts? They were looking for a raise. I like that one. That's the whole scarecrow was standing out in his field because he won an award. I think I said that one backwards. All right. Dogs can't do MRIs, but cats can.
Right.
Yeah, I love some of those. I actually know what site Mike is on right now. It's terrible. I shouldn't know this.
Sure you should. You're the dad joke king.
Oh, I love to joke. It's one of those things that um, there's so many things in life that can draw you down and drag you down, that to be able to smile and to be able to laugh is really, really important. It's also really good for building insight with kids. If you guys are parents that have young kids, tell your kids lots and lots of puns. Why is that? Number one, because it helps you think outside of the box. It helps you understand the dynamic of language. Okay, LAD, here we go. He said, knock, knock. I'm going to say, who's there?
Someone lagging?
Nope. I'm waiting for I can't who.
Can't who.
I have to be careful with some of these. I have to read them before I read them.
Nice. That's a good one, EMR.
I can't watch the door. I'm too weedle. Oh, I can't reach the door. I'm too weedle. Okay. I get it. There's a long delay for a punchline, but hey, thank you. Let's see.
EMR has a good one.
Why do squirrels wear on their feet? Cashews. Oh, what do squirrels wear on their feet? Cashews. I like that one. I had a quiet game of tennis the other day. There was no racket. I like that one too. Let's see. Why did the chicken cross the road to get to the idiot's house? Knock, knock. Oh, he's at LAD's. Oh, sorry. Because LAD did the first knock, knock joke. Come on, you guys. Yeah, where's the chicken? Hey, Farmer Stacker, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Oh, I like this one too. Gambit put this in here. She's got my mentality for jokes. What is a nuclear physicist's favorite meal? Fish and chips. I like that one. Hey, have you guys heard about the grizzly bear notice that's in Montana? There was a rise of human attacks because of grizzlies, and the Montana Fish and Game Department has advised hikers to do things like take precautions, right? So when you go out, make sure you wear like little noisy bells on your clothing so that you don't startle the bears. Make sure that you're carrying things like pepper spray in case you encounter a bear. And it's also a good idea to watch out things for bear activity before you go out and you walk around. One thing that they also recommend is that you understand the difference in the different types of poop that the bears have. So you have to look at the size and what's in there. So black bear poop will be smaller and it'll contain things like berries and leaves and squirrel fur, and grizzly bear poop will have like little bells and smell like pepper spray. Oh, I love that one. Carry pepper spray and not a pepperoni. Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing lots of duplicate jokes in here, so this is cool. Lurch, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being in here. I love that one. I actually put this out on a video, and I had people, because you guys know I do witticism. I had a person chastise the hell out of me because pepper spray is not recommended. You need bear spray. I totally missed the fact that it was a joke. Lurch, today, so if you have questions about coins, then make sure that you ask them. Okay, so we're still a coin channel. We're still doing this. But today is National Tell a Joke Day. And normally Sundays is normal chit chat, kind of have fun. We talk about whatever. But I love a good joke. I love being able to tell jokes. I like hearing good jokes. And I like this one.
That's a great one.
Yeah. But that's one that you can't, so there's another one that you have to say. They don't come across the same in texting, right? Certain jokes you just have to hear. But so today, if you have questions about coins, feel free to do so. But today, again, I can't pass up the National Tell a Joke Day. It's just something. We all have crazy lives. There's a lot of crap that goes on in our lives. You guys know that just a few days ago, my sister lost her son in a massively freak accident. And so I just needed a day to laugh and have jokes and just hang out with the people that I appreciate in chat. And so I appreciate you all coming in. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. We normally talk about coins. We normally have topics and stuff, but we like to have fun. And remember, folks, this is a hobby, right? Unless you're doing this. Now, for Mike, it's not necessarily a hobby because he actually works in a coin shop. For Miss Coin Crew, it's not actually a hobby. She works in a coin shop. But for the most part, it's a hobby, and we have to remember that. So it's important to have fun and do something like that. Common sense is only common if everybody has it. That's one of my favorite quotes. So to going back to the other one, again, who said that joke? Lurch, what does a gay horse eat? Hey.
Can I do a risque one if I PG'd
Yes,
it?
absolutely. And again, I don't mind if you tell borderline jokes, just they can't go over the top. Okay, folks, I just won't do that. Does he call it? No. What does he call it?
You don't get it? It's not motorboating.
Oh, does he call it rowboating? Yeah, I got you. Okay.
All
Okay.
of that thing from right here.
I got you.
Some of it's got my scalp on it.
Pledge Society. Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. Because they were out. He was doing his group home stuff. He was a special needs kid, and they were doing something, and he pushed milk, or like a gallon of milk away, and it landed on the floor, and he went to run to do something and slipped and just happened to hit the golden BB, and it immediately severed a cranial nerve and caused him not to be able to breathe. But the good news about this is that even amidst chaos and pain, good things came from it. He was an organ donor and was able to donate a number of organs and saved 4 different people's lives. As sad as it is, good things come from this. And Tyler wouldn't have wanted us to cry over him. And he was able to actually impart some good things into gold sniping farmer, member for 9 months, hashtag suck it. Yeah, so, and again, it's not, I'm not moping about it. It was very hard for me the day that I learned that they were going to be doing this, and that when they did that. But again, I'm not pushing anything, but amazing things can happen from adversity, right? This is why you don't give up. And because of all this stuff, I just wanted to make sure that I took a day and had some fun, right? And remind people that life isn't it's not always fun and sunshine, but it can be what we make it. And so have a little fun, tell some jokes, have a good time, smash the like, go watch something, do whatever you want to do. Just remember that today is about having fun today. If you have questions about coins, by all means, please ask them. Okay. We'll be talking a little bit about some coins. I actually got some coin related humor here. Let me put this on the screen. So not all jokes are meant to be jokes, but this is one that I found on the internet. This coin is worth $270 million. Oh, you look at this. It was made in 108,009. Yeah, so again, just a little bit of fun there. Made me kind of laugh. Apologize, Mr. and Mrs. West Texas Stacker. I like this one. I haven't seen this one before. I apologize for the coin shortage. I have recently started a new swear jar. I like that. That's funny. Gold sniping farmer. What conversation does the farmer have with the cow during milking? Utter nonsense. That's funny. Which vegetable has the best kung fu? Broccoli. I like that, Neil. That's awesome. Marley and T says, I only know one joke. Why can't lesbians wear makeup and go on a diet at the same time? Because you can't. Oh, man. Come on, Marley. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. I was digging woods and found a chest filled with gold coins. I ran back home excitedly to tell the wife the good news. Then I remembered why I was digging in the woods. That's funny. I like that one. Oh, too much funny. Neil says, my dog just ate a $100 bill. I guess he had expensive tastes. How dare you drop farmer jokes? Oh, that's too funny. I like that. Hey, Jack Gallman, Marion, North Carolina. How are you doing, sir? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying retirement. We're like, what is it, 60 days or something like that since your retirement? Congratulations on that. Hope you're enjoying that. Let's see. What else do we have going on here? Let me find this other. Let's do this. Here's another great one for you guys. Can anybody, this is a coin related one. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with this? Oh, you retired July 1st. Okay, so almost 60 days. Can you guys, okay, so we're going to go about coins. Eric, can you see this one on your screen? I think Eric had to AFK for just a minute.
Nope, I'm here. Sorry,
okay.
I muted my mic.
No worries. Can you see what's on the screen?
Yes.
Can you tell me what's wrong with that statement?
It's not a bicentennial.
Oh, the Coin Show channel, the Coin Channel. Yeah, dropping some brilliance here. I saw this and I was like, oh man, I had to do this. Sorcerer stands like, I'm not sure I'm ready for this kind of torture so early in the morning.
You see mine up there? What do you call a cop in bed? An undercover officer?
Undercover officer. There you go. Gambit. What is that smell? There's a scent in here. That's a good one for copper coins.
That is.
I think Chuck would like that joke. All right, vote for Pedro. Sorry, ladies. Okay, so you know it's a decent joke when you have to apologize before you begin. What is the difference between Iron Man and Iron Woman? One is a superhero and one is in command. They did there's a channel that I follow that does one about Iron Man and Iron Woman. And they change them up pretty frequently, and that one makes me laugh because they're always doing different AI generated stuff. Mike said he's addicted to seaweed. Did you know that, Eric?
No.
Yeah, he's seeking kelp.
All right.
Copper out coins. I woke up this morning and folded my bed back into a couch. Almost broke both my arms because it's not that kind of bed. Oh, good Lord. Oh, I wonder if my subscriber count is dropping. All right, so let's do this one. This is another one of those. Now, talking about coins, I have a question for you. Excuse me. And I consider this a joke for two reasons. Number one, one of the most expensive coins on the market is the St. Gaudens 1933 double eagle, right? It's 19 million. I think it's actually, it might even be 20 million on a potential reselling list. But there's very, 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 very few coins in history, and not any in modern coinage. Well, I guess you should, no, I shouldn't say that. What do you consider modern, Eric?
Well, I think the definition has changed. I think modern is considered now anything that's still being minted or has been minted basically since the 50s.
Mike,
I know when I first got into it, they considered basically modern coins anything after the oh God, I can't remember his name. It just flew out of my head.
Mercury
before the Lincoln set.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't think of it right now. Let me see.
There's a newly discovered coin that's going to break 10 million when it sells. Okay. Newly discovered versus newly minted are totally different things. But again, as you're looking at some of this stuff, again, folks,
Barber. That's it.
So that's, if we're looking at 1933, I don't consider 1933 a modern coin, right?
Right. Back in 1980, it was like 1950s is now.
Yeah.
So.
And so there's not too many modern coins. Now, Mike says there's a new one that has been discovered that when it sells, it's going to be going for that. But the point here is that when you see these folks, they're probably AI generated and not very good to look at.
It says details in the link. It wants you to click that link.
So I consider these jokes. As soon as I see these, none of the content, it doesn't matter how much a person did or didn't look. Right. When I see these, it immediately strikes me as a joke. So I wanted to include this. But I did see this one. This was a real question in a family thing. And I wanted to share this with you. Because when I saw this, I was looking through different chats and stuff. Looking at comments is a great place to find humor, right? Comments on videos and stuff like that. It's a great place to find kind of warped humor. And I found this question. It says, my 22-year-old son threatens to leave the house and go live with my ex-husband unless I buy him a car. What should I do?
Get him a Hot Wheel.
Yeah, let him go. Yeah, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, buy him a bike so he doesn't have to walk to his dad's house.
Where do baby Transformers come from? Optimum Prime. I haven't seen that one. Olympic sprinklers eat before the race? Nothing. They fast. Oh, that's horrible, Stan.
I like that one, Neil.
Did you hear about the doctor who had a headache? Or did you hear about the guy who had a doctor or went to the doctor for a headache? The doctor examined his ear and found money. The doctor kept pulling out until he had $1,999. Then the doctor said, "No wonder you're not filling $2,000."
Nice.
I like that one. I like coin jokes. But these are things that real people have put in. It just makes me laugh because it's like, oh my gosh, really? You have to ask a question like that? And it was in a serious commentation thing, so it was a genuine question. Again, here's another one. Right? Lovely. $14 million. Yeah, I just see this stuff and it makes me chuckle because like, oh my God. Even if you had the top pop on a near date, you're not even close to a tenth of that. So it just makes me laugh.
even if they had it valued at a ridiculous value, finding somebody who actually collects them is going to be a whole nother piece of work. You know, who says I got the top pop of a Susan B. Anthony? But I'm sure there are. I'm sure I shouldn't be judgmental like that.
Well, and again, you know, I put a post up yesterday, I think it is, that said, you know, what is coin that you can't stand? One of the most, and I'm going to go back, one of the most common coins in the discussion is the Susan B. Anthony. But I like the Susan B. Anthony because of what it reminded me about my grandparents. You know what I mean? Because they were like, oh my gosh.
Look at this little teeny dollar.
Well, but the thing is that everybody, you know, even me as a kid, I even thought it was a quarter. And so it's just one of those things that, you know, there were a lot of people that just didn't like that. But I'll be honest with you, throughout history, there's a lot of people that didn't like a lot of coins, either because they had goofy context or they were inappropriate. Hey, Eric, I got to go make sure my son is heading to go get my daughter. I'll be right back. So tell some jokes.
All right. Let's see. Sorcerer Stan. Imagine if Americans suddenly switched from pounds to kilograms, there would be mass confusion. Isn't that the truth? See, Neil has, what word can you make shorter by adding 2 letters? Short. Cute. I found a book that's called How to Solve 50% of Your Problems, so I bought 2. Isn't that the truth? Let's see. Anything else on here?
Hello. Good morning.
You have your mic on.
Yeah, I know. I'm back.
Oh, you're back. All right.
I just sat down and saw Paula here. Hi, Paula. How are you doing?
Good morning. And now back to the host with the most, Frostbyte.
Are Morgans and peace dollars the only silver dollars we're stacking for their silver content, or are there others?
You get 40% Ikes.
I don't know too many people that stack Ikes, and there's a lot of people who don't like.
If you stacked silver in general and come across a bunch of them, you could probably get them for basically, you know, melt prices.
Yeah, I don't know too many people that stack. I mean, you can. I don't know too many people that stack, you know, trade dollars and stuff. Yeah. But remember that American Silver Eagles are technically a dollar coin.
That's correct.
So there are other silver dollars that are worth stacking. So from that aspect, I understand you mean circulating coinage.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people forget that because you know, you got the bullion release, but you actually have the American Silver Eagle coin. So technically the answer is yes, you can stack other than Morgan and Peace. But when you're talking about that, you're looking at things like trade dollars, Gobrek dollars. If you stack those, they're not stacking. I mean, obviously, if you have some Gobrek dollars, you're doing pretty well. So,
very rural Florida.
Say again?
A bunch of Azers in very rural Florida. He's probably up by Arcadia somewhere.
What's going on, Azure? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I told him that I was going to be telling some jokes and stuff today, and he was like, well, I'll try not to attend. Good to see you, Paula. It's nice seeing you in here. I hope you're doing well. I know we chatted a little bit yesterday, but hope you're doing well. I got to follow up with you again. Let's see. Thanks, guys. Got some dimes and halves. Not sure which dollars are best to stack. So when you're talking about stacking junk silver, or as many people call it constitutional silver. It's about trying to get obviously a good deal on. I mean, right now it's like what 28 times face or something like that for constitutional silver, and really, there's a lot of people who prefer stacking that way, right? Hi Tara, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being here. You don't have to just stack dollars. But remember that depending upon how worn they are, if they're really, really cool, there's a little bit less silver than they are if they were in decent shape. So just be aware that if you're going to be stacking something like that, you want to make sure that you understand really like what you have. I hope that makes sense. So a great example of that is if you buy a call Morgan silver dollar, you could have as low as like, man, you know, like 15%, 18% of the silver gone because of the wear, right? So when you're looking at containing junk silver in part of your stack, you kind of have to understand what that weight is versus what your silver content is. There's some. No, I'm trying hard to say. I've tried to figure out the best way to say that. So, a worn silver dollar has less silver than one that is AU, right? Or XF. Yeah, and so if you're going to be buying in big quantities, make sure you're buying it for the weight of the silver and not the well, it does over time. Again, if you're talking about buying $1,000 bag of Morgans that are all call, that's a pretty significant loss of money. If you're buying just a couple, it's not necessarily a big deal, but as you're building your stack, especially if you're looking at weight, it does add up. And it's something you need to be aware of. Does it become a deal breaker? No, but it is something that you need to be aware of. So just something to keep in mind. You want to know more about that, go check out Tiger Stacker. He can talk a little bit about that. And then another person, obviously you can look at things like Silver Seeker, Yankee, and some of those folks. They can break that down as well and give you the kind of the breakdown of what the difference is and kind of what the cost is. But when you're looking at large quantities, it does make a difference. $1,000 bag of 90% dollars has on average 750 ounces of silver. If it was pristine, yeah, but it can be less depending upon how cold they are. My point is it does add up. That's my point.
There were a couple of dealers at the fun show that were buying Barber dimes by weight. They weren't taking them. They were doing everything else at time space, except for Barber stuff, because they said there was a lot of decay in the Barber dimes and quarters and stuff.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you know, you've got to be stacking a bunch of these. So, for instance, you know, Tiger Stacker has monster box of Morgans, monster box of peace dollars. When you get into larger quantities of those, it's going to add up. If you're only stacking, you know, 10 tubes of dimes or something like that, it's not a huge difference, but it does add up over time. It's just important that you realize that, because if you're trying to determine the amount of money you have in your stack, you need to account for the loss. And so it's something that you have to take those things into consideration. You might not, but the coin shop that you take it to might. Charles asks a question, and we'll get back into some of these jokes here in just a minute. I'm going to take this off of my screen so nobody thinks that we're doing this $1 million show. Charles says, I have a variety of coins that were saved over time in a bag and given to me. What type of cases or storage material should I get to keep them in better shape? The question is, I would have to see the coins to make an assessment on that. For the most part, you don't need to put them in flips, but you could have something there that warrants putting it into a flip. But I would have to see them. To say you have a variety of coins, that could mean that you have, a bunch of zinc cents. I don't know what that means. Over time is a relative statement. So without actually seeing the coins or knowing what it is that you have, then again, it's hard for me to make that assessment. If you had something that was nice, let's say you had in that collection a nice Morgan silver dollar, would you have to put that in a flip? No, absolutely not. Could you, if you wanted to? Yes, but that's an additional cost to you that necessarily wouldn't need to be there. Now, if you want to store them, there are some things that you need to consider. One of those things is going to be, if you're going to be putting them in plastic flips, like this, I got this gold coin in here. This is a very small gold coin. It's not going to stay in here. It's going to go into something else. I wouldn't recommend all the flips. So this one is good. You can hear it. It's very rigid. It doesn't contain any PVC. PVC is very important, but you're not going to want to keep it in something, and this is one of the casino tokens I have. You may not want to keep it in something like this because this may have PVC, and over time it may turn that kind of a green. If you're looking at some of these come from copper coins. You could see these again. They're rigid. They're PVC free. You could put something in like that. But again, if you're looking at something like this, they cost money. And if you'd ask Chuck about how much he gets or how much he charges for some of these, he can get you a good deal. But if you buy them from somebody else, you may spend a lot of money.
And they've literally doubled in price in the last couple months.
Right. So it's very important to kind of be realistic about what you have. If you want to send me some photos about some of the coins, send me some photos. Let's go.
Can I do a flip thing? If you are buying plastic flips, make sure you're buying plastic flips that say for long-term archival storage. A lot of the ones that people buy, they say these were cheaper and they said that they're safe for coins, but somewhere on that label it has for short-term archival storage, which is like transportation until you get it in a better holder.
Same thing with the blue books that you store like cents and stuff in. Those are short-term items. You want to keep those long-term. You want to find something like this, where it has something like, it says museum or archival quality. Something like this, these are Intercept Shield. These are really good for long-term storage. There's other ones that are out there. If you're going to be storing your coins for display or keeping in a book for long-term, make sure you're putting it something like that. But not every coin needs to go into a flip. Not every coin needs to go into one of the little 2x2 holders. You don't have to buy, this is a counterfeit coin that I use for training. You don't have to buy containers or holders like this.
Paula brings up a good point. When taking coins in and out of plastic flips that can scratch them, not just the plastic flips, Dansko albums and stuff like that. Sliding that slide back and forth can scratch the coins.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you want to be cognizant of what you have, but don't waste a ton of money in doing that. 2x2 flips work. If you're going to be doing the 2x flips and you're going to be using staples, make sure you're pushing the staples down.
Or just spend $20 and get a stapler that pushes them down for you. Literally $2 or $3 difference in price.
Yeah, or you also have to be careful. And when you take those out of those, don't rip the pieces of paper apart. Take something and
cut the plastic.
Cut around the edge and cut the plastic
Fingernail
out.
Works great.
Right, something that is soft but is hard enough to kind of poke through that without damaging the coin. If you're going to be putting them in flat plastic flips, again, remember that putting things in plastic flips is great, but you have to store them. we get these little books. I've got to move real quick and grab something.
What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef.
I like. Sorry, I had to step away and grab this. I was just looking through this morning. So here's an example. I've got this. This is one of those little plastic books, you know, just these little coin album books. They're really cheap. But what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't, oops, I just knocked my coins on the ground.
Put the coin raw in the.
I wouldn't put the coin raw inside of here. You'll notice that even when I have.
Smell those pages. If you smell it, it's got PVC in it.
It smells like chlorine or chemical.
I'm not sure what the smell is, but they smell. Like even the BCS pages that you get or the Cowens pages that you get, they tell you right on the Cowens not to put coins in there without them being in another flip.
Yeah. So sorry about that. There's a lot of things to consider.
Shower curtain. That's exactly it.
Yep,
Paula.
exactly. That's a great analogy, Paula. Really good analogy. Yeah, so you can put these in here, and again, even though this is okay, I mean, you can see how soft and pliable this is. These over time will eventually turn your coin green, and even though these are in flips, this still technically wouldn't qualify for long-term archival storage. You can keep them in there, but eventually these will cause the coins to turn and to.
It depends on those flips. Those flips are just like the other flips. If you buy the cheapest 2x2s you can get, chances are they've got junk plastic in them.
Yeah. So again, do you have to go through all of this? No. Did I have to do this for my Morgans? Is this something that I absolutely had to do to put these in here? No, I could have put these in a tube. I could have put these just in a regular tube and just had them there. No issue, no harm, no foul. It's not a big deal. I could put these in a 2x2 box if I wanted to and just store them in a box. I didn't have to buy a book or do anything like that. That's just added money. And if you're trying to stack or collect on a budget, you should be finding things. And again, if you want to find stuff like this, and I'm showing this one for a reason, because again, bullion coins, a lot of people don't like the fact that people grade bullion coins. So that's one of those things that people have said that they don't like. But if you're going to be stacking something like this and you have, these aren't high dollar coins, these would be fine in a flip. It wouldn't have to go to grading. This isn't something that I would need to send to grading. A 1900 in MS64, yes, it's a nice coin, but I don't need that graded. If it's a coin that's like 66, 67, now you got a different coin. Now you're talking about, you know, a couple hundred, maybe $1,000 for a coin versus, you know, 115.
If you do send coins off for grading, you need a 2.5-inch flip. They will not take 2x2s.
Yeah.
They'll send the coin right back to you.
So you do have to, well, and when he's talking about that, he's talking about this. Don't send them in the paper one, right? Yeah. So, but again, I don't want you looking at this saying you have to put all your coins in these holders. There's a lot of money that goes into holders. And if you take them out because you want to look at them, every time I go to pull something like this out, oops, I'm knocking coins over everything. I have to break this out and then touch it and then put it back in there. Every time I do that, I risk damaging the coin. Okay? Every time I mess with that. And if I try to look at this under a microscope or something, or a loop with light, I'm going to get that plastic reflection. So you don't have to do it. If you love looking at your coins, you don't have to put it in a holder like this. I did that when I first started. I did that with every single coin. And I learned very quickly that can get expensive. So don't put everything into a plastic holder. Right? You just don't need to do that. Great question, Charles. How much for bulk pure silver coins? Missouri Skywatcher, it depends on the silver. If you're talking about 90%, if you're talking about American Silver Eagles or Canadian Maple Leafs. If you're talking about 80%, 90%, 40%, there's a lot of questions to that one. It really depends on the silver content. So M. Rio says, I use Mylar sheets. Be careful with utilizing Mylar. Mylar sometimes contains PVC. So again, you do have to be careful. Make sure that it says PVC free. Neil Hahn says, why don't football players wear glasses? They said, because it's a contact sport. I like that. Neil Hahn's been putting a lot of jokes in. I appreciate it. Yeah, so the Mylar sheets, and again, that's what this stuff is. You got to be careful with this because most of these are not set up for archival storage. And try saying that one fast 5 times. How about the coin books with the plastic slide?
Some are better than others.
Fact. Again, you want to find something that says museum quality or archival quality. But again, the more you move those back and forth, the more you risk scratching the surface of the coin. Now, like this, I have my, I'm going to make a mess. I'm going to knock a bunch of stuff over. I have my typeset book where I have my different coins there, my large cent, my small cents, and half cents, and all this other stuff. And I have all these different coins here. As I get better coins, I replace them. But I'm not constantly opening and closing this. I'm just doing this because it's going to protect. Like some of these coins are really nice. Like this is my 1950D, probably MS63, 65, somewhere in that area. I'm not going to be pulling that coin out. I don't think I'll find one or put one that's better, but I probably will find some better coins that need to be done. So when I find a replacement, then I'll pull it out and do that. But I'm not going to just arbitrarily, pull that out. Also, some of these coins, because of wear, rotate in here, especially if you have coins that are, 200 years old. That constant rotation, if you're moving the books around a lot, can actually damage some of the coins. So if you have nicer coins in here, you want to be careful with those.
We do miss Paula on the panel, Azer.
We do. And she's got some stuff. She said she's dealing with things, and she's got some health issues. For those that haven't been tracking, she's working through those things, and once those things are resolved and she feels better, she'll be coming back. But I tell her all the time that you guys say that you miss her being on panel. A wealth of knowledge, and if you guys don't know, please go check out Copper Coins, Live Coin Q&A. That's where Paula and them are. Go check out Harlan J. Burke. Again, lots of great channels. If you're on Facebook, go check out Jack Young's Fun with Fakes. A lot of fun. He'll be talking
good
tomorrow.
One on there yesterday.
I didn't get to 2 infusions down and 6 to go on the road to recovery and blast. Yeah, Paula, we love and miss you. I hope you're doing well. And again, you can ask everybody in chat. I frequently give people updates on how you're doing. I get a lot of people that ask. But remember, folks, you can reach out to her and ask her how she's doing too. You don't have to come to me. I appreciate you do, and I don't mind being a reference and a relay for people's care and concern. But there's a lot of people who want to know how Paula's doing, so I appreciate you guys. But anyway, Charles, great question about coins and how to store them and what you should and shouldn't do, or what you can and can't do. If you want to know more, I would say the best piece of advice when it comes to storing coins, and you can talk about flips or holders or grading or any of that kind of stuff, but the best advice is keep your coins out of humidity and keep them dry. Right? Keep them away from moisture. Moisture is a coin's worst enemy. So make sure that you're protecting them that way. So, if you live in an area that has high humidity, make sure that you're keeping those little packs that absorb moisture, and make sure you're not putting them in plastic totes and sticking them in your garage and stuff like that. Make sure you have a really good area to store your coins. Shouldn't they be in a safe? It's totally up to the person who has them.
Safes that big. Of course, they're mine are all pennies anyways.
Well, but it depends. Yeah, it really depends on what you're collecting, right? I'm not going to send somebody who has a bunch of pocket change and tell them that they need to go buy a, a $400, $500 safe. If you have, a significant amount of coins or some really nice high quality coins, you guys know I have a bunch of coins, but I don't keep a majority of my stuff at the house. I don't store it here.
I do see a time where people will have to acquire safes, because I do see a day that banks will not have safety deposit boxes anymore. That's a service that most banks are trying to get rid of at this point, just from a liability issue.
Yeah. And there's a lot of concerns about storing your stuff in a safety deposit box.
Yep.
And you'll hear a lot of people say that's bad news. Just like
I've heard that a bank went bankrupt and there was a bunch of stuff in the creditor actually got the property in the safety deposit boxes too.
Yeah. So most cases that's not going to happen. Like we had a bank, it was last time, and this has been a number of years ago, state that they were closing branches. They were doing that. Everybody had 60 days or something like that to come in and get your stuff. It's much like storage containers, right? Storage spaces. If you're not paying your bill, you have so much time to come and grab your stuff, pay your bill, and then it gets turned over to them. But that goes with anything, right? Pay your bills on time. But things happen, and there's a lot of people who have stuff in safety deposit boxes that nobody knows about. And if you don't pay your bill and you're not doing that, and they close your account and nothing happens and they hear nothing from you, it's going to default. So there are concerns about doing that, and things that you need to be aware when you're looking at doing stuff like that. So if you're going to store stuff in a safety deposit box, if you're going to be storing stuff in a facility that houses these things, there's some things you need to look at, some strategies that need to be addressed. And yeah, again, Paul, that's exactly right. If your collection is extremely valuable, you want to consider insuring it. There are places to do that, but don't. Well, and I'm gonna challenge the homeowners, and the reason that I say that is because UTSA or USAA, excuse me, UTSA is a college. USAA, if you get
you'd have to get a rider.
Appraisals. You actually take the stuff. They actually send somebody to go through your stuff. They document it. They write it down. They document it. Now, if you're somebody like myself or Tiger who actually keeps your records of the coins, Copper Coins does this really cool thing that if you buy coins from them, they tell you exactly how much each coin was worth at the time of purchase. If you keep stuff like that and you give that to your insurance company, then they will account for that and they will cover stuff like that. Now, well, because that's in transit, right? And so they won't cover that. Now, if you insure your coins through somebody like the American Numismatic Association or some of these other companies, they will, because they insure it on the coin. But there's some inherent concerns that people have when you're looking at storage of coins with or insurance of coins through an insurance company. And that is, if you do what I just said, they have a full-on list of everything you have.
That's it. It has to be an accurate inventory, and it has to be updated frequently.
Yeah.
And like I say, if it's over a certain amount, you have to get a rider because they will only insure interior objects up to a certain amount of money unless you increase the value and pay more money.
And then you end up having to have things like umbrella policies, special coverages. Now, so for me, again, now I have, I don't keep a lot of my high-end collectibles in my house simply because I don't want to invite people and say, hey, FYI, I do stuff live stream. I have a whole bunch of collectibles here. Come find me. I don't want that. So I don't tempt people with that. If I'm going to be doing a show, I will have some coins and stuff on me. If I'm going to be talking about something specific and I'm going to be teaching about counterfeits, I'm doing something on Morgan dollars right now. So I have all of my Morgan dollars, but I have a number of Morgan dollars. I have some coins that came in. I did a video on a recent item. So I'll keep a few things here and there, but rarely do I have any of my really valuable stuff with me, unless I'm going to be doing something specific on that element. Then I coordinate with the location that I have it stored. I go pick them up. And people are like, well, that's a big headache. I would rather suffer that headache than have somebody want to come over and relieve me of my stuff. And so, to each their own. However you want to do it is totally up to you. There is no right way to do it. There are multiple ways to do it, and however you want to do that is how you want to do it. Vote for Pedro keeps his stack in the septic tank. Man, I hope you don't keep your 21s there. Oh, I know he's joking about that, but again, there's no necessarily one right way to do it. Everybody has different strategies on how to do that. It's one of those things where, cultivate an issue or cultivate a strategy to resolve an issue and update your strategy as needed. That's the big important piece. Ninja was live. Okay, I don't know who Ninja is, but nice. Bob Smith, more money, more problems. Yeah. And in coin collecting, if you want to make $1 million in coins, you have to start with 2. Oh, the economic ninja. Got you, Neil. Cool beans. Your best deal is to use Ring cameras, those things. Well, here's the thing with cameras and home security systems and things of that nature. Unless you have closed circuit television, they're all tied to internet. Somebody cuts your internet, your safeguard's gone. Home security systems, they're amazing. But if somebody kicks in your door and they have 25 seconds before your alarm sounds, and they can get out and get in and get out in a minute and a half, they may just trigger enough notification for somebody in the neighborhood. Oh, assuming you have an external siren that goes off and it's not just inside your house. They don't really do anything. And in many cases, if you live in a place where your response time is 20, 25 minutes for police because, the police volume is low in your area, then it's not going to do anything. Well, Ring cameras will notify you with motion unless somebody cuts your cable internet line, right? So again, if you're talking about big money, vote for Pedro, dogs, and more dogs. Okay, there you go. But again, there are strategies. Everybody has to cultivate their own strategy depending upon what their needs are. Do I believe in alarm systems? Yes. Do I have one? Yes. Do I have cameras on my home? Yes. Why do I do that? Well, the safety of my family. Is it here to protect the inherent valuables in my home? No, I have other strategies for that. So you have to figure out what your strategy is. You have to cultivate your own and meet your own needs. And whatever that looks like for you is what that looks like for you. I can't tell you what you should have because I don't have, nor in many cases, do I want to know what you have. We have people in my channel that we talk to quite frequently that they've been very clear. I don't want people knowing that I have money. So, let's not ever talk about my collection, my stack. And I know some of the things that they have, but they won't share it with me. Or we have people in the community like Salivate, who never shows his face because he doesn't want people knowing who he is. So whatever works for you is what works for you. As for me, I store the stuff off-site. I coordinate, if I have my very expensive stuff, I coordinate the needs needed. And so everybody has their own strategy. And to that strategy, you have to be true. So you have to make sure you update it. If you have insurance, go through and make sure that you're updating your insurance policies. It doesn't matter if you have coins or not. You should be updating your insurance policy every couple of years. Make sure you're taking into account the increase of your value of your home or the value of your property. You should be reevaluating things like artwork. Sometimes artwork goes up in price. Sometimes it goes down in price. If you see a massive drop or a massive increase in the items, make sure you're adjusting those things accordingly. Take those things into account. You have to protect yourself. Don't trust your insurance companies to do it for you. So whatever strategy that you come up with to protect yourself, just make sure that you revisit that periodically. So that's the best system that I can give you. The security system of AI don't own anything. Yeah, and again, that's another strategy. But Mike, we talked about Mike, what works in a coin shop where the stuff he gets to see every day makes anything that he could collect kind of blah. And when you see some of the stuff that they have over at Harlan J. Burke and some of the stuff that comes through there, yeah, I think it would be tough to stack or to collect when you see these $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, $1.5 million. You see these coins come through. How do you collect when you're seeing these things every day, and then you come home and you look at your own collection and you're like, hard to get motivated. So I definitely understand that. Keynes, oops, my it is what it is. Can you still hear me, Eric?
I can. I do see that the stream seems to be as you got there it goes. Did it come back on your end?
Yeah, I had some sort of driver update, and it just told me that the driver update. I don't know why in the hell it would try to update. So my screen proportions changed and everything shifted. So I apologize for that. But this is, again, 3 months to work out the issues, right?
All right. So they can hear you now too.
I'm not exactly sure what happened. That was weird. So one of my drivers on my computer, again, you guys know that I had a crash in my system and had to reload and restart everything and lost a ton of data, lost a bunch of information. And so some of these updates are just going to just kind of happen. So I apologize for that. All right. Neil has continued to throw jokes in there. Yeah, why in the hell would it? I need to make sure that I turn off auto update.
That and set it for a time of day, like 2 in the morning or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Earth grounds, again, one of the things that's important is, and Paul and I have talked about this, Eric and I have talked about this, Chuck and I have talked about this, Mike and I have talked about this. It's really easy for somebody that has a platform to talk on to say, these are your best strategies. But I have to remember when I'm doing this that I have a responsibility to the community to do something that's extremely important. And that is, remember that my audience isn't just 25 people.
Yeah, I don't give collecting strategies. I mean, because if you take mine, it's usually not your best bet because I'm a hoarder.
Well, and again, when you're talking about things like security, or you're talking about things like different features that you need to have, or stacking, everybody's unique in the fact that my options may not work for you. And so if I have to give you any piece of advice in whether it be security or stacking or collecting, it's do what you like, but revisit it frequently. Same thing with setting goals, right?
That my local coin dealers, they love me because I'll buy the junk from them. They give me a great deal on it. Half the time it's face value. But yeah, they love it. And I go pick it up. They don't have to do anything.
Holy smokes. So Siren, you freaked me out for a minute. I was about to say hi to you. You didn't include all the emojis in your comment. Siren says, I like to collect everything silver. Well, and again, right? So what is your collecting strategy? What is your stacking strategy? I will tell you, because of best practices, I learned this from Paula. Okay. If you have to ask about should something be graded, then pretty much the answer is no. It's a great generalization, right? It really is. But we had somebody, Coach's Magic, come in with a really, really, really cool coin saying, hey, is this real? They asked about it. After doing some research, after going through and looking at some of the elements and the items that were there, it's like, oh my God, this is an authentic 1795 half cent. You're going to want to protect this. Get it certified, get it protected. That's the rarity. But until we knew exactly what we were dealing with, until we actually knew what we had, the idea was not right now. Let's get some more information before we make that assessment. Now,
well, not just that, people don't realize it. They go, well, this coin's worth $100. Let's just use that as a figure. Even let's just say it's $100 coin. You send it to PCGS. You mail it there. It's 10, 20 bucks. Because they have specific directions on how to do all this stuff. Then you pay for the grading fees or a membership. I think they make you have a basic membership at a minimum. Well, that's over $100. Then they grade the coin. Let's just say it's a modern Lincoln cent. That's probably 24 or 25 bucks. Then they charge you 30, 40 bucks to ship it back to you.
Fact.
You've got all this expense into this coin that's probably not worth putting into a holder.
No, and a great example of this is, I love, and again, I'm one of these weirdos. I enjoy collecting nickels. I like collecting nickels because you can get them in high grade. They're hard to find, but you can get them in high grade. Slabbed, not slabbed, doesn't matter. And you can find them for a pretty good price.
I love nickels too, Frosty.
And so, well, there's a lot of people who hate Jefferson nickels. I think Paul is one of them. And if you say that to Chuck, I think he'll vomit in his mouth.
Yeah, but Chuck, he'll anything besides Lincoln cents, basically.
But the point is that you can find some really nice ones. Now, if I have a 1950 D nickel, do I need to slab it? Well, let's say that it has all 6 steps and it is MS65, MS66.
Exactly.
You're good. You're good at grading. You're good at being able to do this. You're good at being able to do that. Do you have to send this in? No, you do not have to send that in. You can if you want to, because there's enough of a price difference, but you'll be able to sell that coin as it is without paying all the extra fees.
We're bulk graded.
Yeah,
so somebody just got a whole roll and dumped the whole roll on them.
Right. But just as Paula said in chat, you can buy the coin already graded for less money than what it would cost you to send it off for grading for, let alone get the coin.
Right here. Slab that's on my thing. I've got 3 or 4 of them like this. I literally paid like $2 for this. And somebody paid $40 to have that put into a slab.
You'll never realize that money back. Never. Right? And so in this particular case, yeah, it's a cool coin, but what is it? What is its inherent value? Well, less than what it cost to put it in that plastic holder. And so in many cases, you can find those for, like Paula said, you can find those for less than what people spent to get those graded. So be very careful when you're talking about grading coins and stuff like that. But I have a really good friend, love him dearly, and he just loves sending stuff in to get graded. He likes looking at the coin, determining what the grade is, sending it off, and getting it back and saying, how close was I?
That's what he likes to do, though. And that's
what he likes to do.
He understands the risk, and he's been doing it. He understands that if you didn't know him, he probably sends 20 coins in at a time to try to save money on all the other fees.
Yeah, exactly.
Sending one coin in is just not financially responsible, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, that's true. Freaking awesome. I would appreciate your help finding out if oops, I just lost it. I appreciate your help on finding out whether coin dealers giving out false information. No problem. Now, again, what I can't necessarily do is give you intent. Do they intend to give out fake information? Is everything they do fake information? That's a pretty good idea. But you can't usually determine whether the intent is there or whether they're just foolish. Again, it's one of those things. Let's see. By the way, freaking awesome. Thank you for being here. And Jackalope, thank you so much for sending the posting this and sharing that online. I appreciate you sharing out the post. I got to send something to my daughter real quick. Okay. All right. Let's see. What other questions? Copper Owl coins. I'd love to stick around for a while, but I need to get my stream ready. All right, Copper Owl, have a good one. Yeah, we've got a lot of good yolks out here. Oh, speaking of, did you guys hear about the drummer? He's a chicken, and people asked him, "How is it that you became to be the drummer?" And he says, "Well, I already had the drumsticks."
Nice.
Here's the one I wanted to tell you guys earlier. Mike Tyson. You guys like Mike Tyson? You guys, Eric, do you like Mike Tyson?
Sure.
Okay. Do you know that he likes to think the unthinkable? And when asked how he does that, he says with icebergs.
Icebergs? Nice. There's a lot of Mike Tyson jokes out there. I just can't think of the other ones I've heard so far.
Yeah, it's a stupid joke, but it's funny. There's a lot of good ones out there. Let's see. Let's see. If you guys have more or if you guys have more coin related questions, please put them in. Again, today is Tell a Joke Day, but I want to tell you one more joke, and it's about Forrest Gump.
Every variety sent except for the 55 DDO. That is a lot of varieties. That's probably 15,000 coins.
What was the question?
Freaking awesome says, since I have almost every variety sent except for the 55 DDO, I'm now moving to nickels.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot. I've got a lot, and I don't have close to that.
Happy Armed Forces Day. Absolutely, Paula. All right, Mike, have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Mike's going to be up to talk about that IGC submission, ICG submission. So we're looking to have you up on panel tomorrow, Mike. Well, have a good day, bud.
This will make everybody sick right here. Those are just some nickels that I just went through.
Okay.
Whole bin of them.
Find anything good?
They're all good. They're all either RPMs or DDOs. So probably 60 of them. All war nickels. I love me my war nickels. That's like my favorite.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that like war nickels, like to stack them. I have a few, but I don't have. I think maybe I have 3 or 4 tubes of war nickels. I don't have a lot of war nickels. I want to find a couple that are in really, 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 really nice condition for my book. But other than that, Angry Warrior, what's up? Good to see you. Hey, Sorcerer Stan.
Good going on? Cheap pack too. That little basket is 3 for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree, and 2x2s fit in real good. You can fit 80 2x2s in there perfectly.
You know what I did? I got a really cool piece. And I didn't mean to do it this way, but I asked a buddy of mine who does a lot of 3D printing. I was like, how hard would it be to print one of these things? He's like, I don't know. Let me see. So he went, found one, downloaded it, printed it. He's like, it takes about 16 hours. And I'm like, oh, would it be something that would be worth it? He's like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, well, do you want this one? I'm like, sure. And I was like, oh man, I just snaked him out of a holder. So yeah, what it is it's about 12 by 5, and it's got a line in. It's just plastic, and it has a lid, and it's perfect for the 2x2s. So you stick them in. It's hold on, I take that back. It's 7 inches.
5 inches. Wide? That would be perfect for slabs.
No, I think it's 7 inches wide because it fits 3 across, and it has dividers in it. I think it's 12 by 7. Anyway, it's got 3 rows, and you can just slide them in there. I have all my my copper coins. When I get them in from you guys, I put them in by years, so that when I get 50 of them, I put them in a tube. So I take, oh, I think I just took my tubes and put them away. So when I get 50 of the same thing, I take them out of the flips and I put them in a plastic tube, and then I get a full roll of them. And then I put the roll away, and then I keep the 50 flips to use for whatever else I'm using them for.
All right. Azer just said BAC coin grading. They authenticate bullion.
There are so many tests.
Grade vintage and modern bullion coins.
There are so many tests to authenticate bullion.
And it's called the Bullion Authentication Company.
I don't know why you would want to do that, though.
Well, same reason that people authenticate coins. I'm sure there's some that are more uncommon. So yeah, like the bars, like we were talking about some of the 10-ounce bars where there's only 2 or 3 of them. That would be probably something good for that. But, you know, like with everything else, there's reasons to do stuff and then there's reasons not to.
Yeah, I got you. Have a good day. Vote for Pedro. Appreciate you coming in, brother. Much love. Well, but again, so I say that with caveat. Okay. I would never use them, but that's just me. I have some stuff like this, right? 2020 12W. Okay, cool. It's not inherently valuable. That's maybe a $55, $60, $80 coin, whatever it might be. And you know, hey, cool. I got this one. Okay, it's you know, fine. It's a Britannia. Cool. Only reason I got this one is because I liked the textured field. I really like the way that they did the texturing on this. It's an older coin. It was cool. I like it. Now, I'm not going to ever buy one of these and send them to get graded. I absolutely wouldn't do that. Now,
and like these two, though, I guarantee that 2012 W was probably sent in as a bulk grade.
Yeah.
First strike, whole bunch of them sent at one time. So there's a lot of expense in the grading process saved that way.
Talking about this one?
The one you had from the West Point Mint that you said you love the surfaces on.
Yeah. And again, first strike doesn't mean that it was the first coins that came out of those presses. It just means that
in the first month after it was minted.
Exactly. I like that. I like that joke. I say it whenever I have people work on my systems, my systems outside, my sprinkling systems or fire suppression system. What did the plumber say to the singer? Nice pipes. So, you know how people talk about having a dad bod?
I live the dream.
Okay. So I have a dad bod, but I also have a pirate bod. You know how I got that?
How?
By doing planks.
Nice. Nice.
For those of you who like pirate jokes. Yeah, bad. I know it's dumb. Well, folks, it is 10 o'clock. Today was just kind of, it was more of a Sunday than it was a Saturday. Saturday, normally we do more education stuff. But with everything that had to go on this week and the last week, I was like, you know what, we're going to do something fun. And with it being National Tell a Joke Day, and again, National Armed Services Day, please reach out to everybody. Let them know that you appreciate their stuff. Paula says, or Neil says, RIP boiling water. You will be missed.
Nice.
I appreciate you all being here. Neil, thank you so much for having all those jokes in chat. I appreciate you. Paula, thanks for coming in. Maybe you have to pop up on chat, say hi one time, give a quick update, just so we hear your voice. We miss you a bunch. Love you tons. And again, through chat, you can see a lot of people are saying hi, thinking about you, praying about you. So we appreciate you. I miss you as a friend online. So, we'll chat more, but, pop up and say hi. Eric, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with me today. I know today was kind of just a random, by the way, we're going to be doing this.
Great stuff.
Again, I appreciate you all. Continue to put jokes in chat. If you guys liked today's comment or commentary, you like the jokes and stuff, and you're watching for the first time, this is not the normal flow of things. We do like to have it loose and whatever, but if you have questions about coins, reach out to me, subscribe, put something down in chat. Let me know that you want to know about it, and we'll answer those. All right, folks, be here tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about the IGC submission from Jack Young. Mike Nodelman's going to be online. And so come on up, ask bunches of questions. We'll talk about the various submission, what he has. He has some amazing coins there. And so don't miss tomorrow. I'll be dropping that live here in about 10 minutes. So make sure you go over, click on it, hit the notification bell so that it reminds you tomorrow morning that we go live in 30 minutes. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay well, be blessed, folks. See you in the morning.